All right, world, here we are. We're live. Super excited doing a live, and this is going to be a super fun one. It's about your mind, your mind. And we'll take a couple seconds as we're getting started, and we are live, whether you're joining us in our fan page or you're joining us, on my personal page. Take a second and let me know you're here. Put your name in down below. Let us know that you are here, and we're going to get started here in a couple seconds. Also, I'm going to ask very quickly for all of you, take a couple seconds. This is a very, very important one with all the stuff that goes on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, all the social media channels. There's a lot of people, negative this, different that. There's some great stuff out there too, but I'm also going to ask you, let's do what we can to share something empowering with the feeds of the people we care about. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Share this. So our team will down below, we'll put the link. They'll do it several times. It'll be Team Burnoff. We'll give you the link from the fan page. You can share it with people you care about to let them know that we are live, and you can say, hey, check this out. So I'm going to ask you to, number one, first thing I want you to do is like the video, and number two, take a couple seconds and share this with people you care about. Let's open up the channels. Let's let the Facebook gods know that we are ready to rock and roll and talk about your mind. So as you're jumping on, like any live that you jump on that you want to share with people, you like it, you put a comment, say, yo, I'm here. Hey, Michael, what's up? So I can say hi to you, Vaughn. What's up? What's up, Brittany? What's up, Becca, Majid? What is up? So thrilled you're here. Charlie, welcome. And take a couple seconds. Team Burnoff is going to put down there below the link on how to share this on the fan page with those you care about. So you can grab that link, cut and paste, put it on your wall, say, here's where I'm going to be for the next 30 minutes. Come join me. The other cool thing about doing that on your wall is you start to realize some cool people you have in your life that are into the same things that you're into. So I always use this as a testing grounds. I was in Clubhouse the other day and I'm like, man, I got some cool friends here. And I realized the type of people that listen to type of stuff like this are the people that we typically want to be around. So welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Megan, welcome. Thrilled you're here. Happy birthday. Team Burnoff just posted down below. You can grab that link, share it now, cut, paste, put it on your wall, your personal wall. Let people know we are going to be talking about the power of the mind today, how to use it to get more of what you want. And I'm excited about this because I'm going to answer some questions today. I'm going to open it up to you guys as well. So we'll get some comments later on. Not yet, but we're going to get some comments later on when I'm sharing this on areas of your life that you want to learn how to control your mind as well. So welcome everybody. As you're jumping on, again, take 2 seconds, give it a like, give it a love that you're here, comment, throw in your name, go, what's up? Let me know where you're from. Welcome everybody. Glad to be here, Susan. And grab that link, throw it on your page. If you're not a member of our fan page, definitely like this so you know about other videos we have coming up in the future. So, all right, everybody. Well, let's rock and roll. I got very, very excited about this topic for a variety of reasons. I don't know how many of you have ever had something happen where it leads you to say, I wish I would have. And when I say I wish I would have, usually afterwards, it leads to like a lot of people guilt and worry. Not with me, because I get my mind how to make it work. But one of the things when I said I wish I would have come up with this concept that I call mind control way, way longer time ago than just, 3-4 years ago when we initially started teaching this concept, because I've been sharing this stuff for years, but I haven't been getting it out to the public because at the end of the day, there's really one very, very important skill as an entrepreneur, as a parent, whatever it is that you're looking to grow in your life, learning how to get this thing to work with you, not against you, but with you, is the difference between your life being easy, fun, enjoyable, powerful, and more importantly, start getting more of what it is that you want. So a couple of rules for lives. You haven't been in a while. It's a little different than Zoom. One of the things is you definitely want to encourage. If there's something that hits, like you loved what you just heard, you want to put it in the box. You want to type it in the comment section, go, I love that. Also put a heart or whatever, because then when people come back and watch later, they start to realize like that was an important part. That's something that I want to pay attention to. That's something I wanted to notice. So you'll definitely want to take a minute and do that. So let me give you the goods and tell you what we're going to be covering for the next 20, 25 minutes. And then I'm going to open up for some questions and answer some questions, give you some really, really cool ideas of stuff that you can do that are going to make a difference for yourself. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about how the mind works, what your mind is, what it's meant to do, how to get it to work with you, not against you, like a lot of people say. I'm also going to share with you okay, there we go. And make it even easier for you to adjust and kind of lubricate the ability to get easier what it is you're looking for. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that you're going to be able to use in a way of looking at it. And I'm also going to teach you a few things to avoid, stuff that you can do. And then I'm going to teach you a couple techniques because at the end of the day, a lot of us get bothered by other people. And people say to me, Michael, why would you teach something about people getting bothered? That's kind of a negative subject matter. Well, if you spend 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day, a few hours a week being bothered by something you did or something somebody else did, and you could overcome that or not have it bother you anymore, it's a very, very powerful technique that each and every one of you are going to use. So a few years back, I invented a program. I'll tell you about it later if you don't already have it. The majority of you that have worked with me for a while do have it, called Mind Control 2.0, because I taught Mind Control for years. 2.0 was an upgraded version of that. So over the last 4 years, I've had this notebook by my desk. It's something I have from our Circle of Influence Mastermind. And I've been writing in little techniques and little ideas, stuff that I could not wait to share with you guys. And I'm thinking, what am I waiting for? Why not just share with everybody right now? So let's start at the beginning and let's talk about your mind, how it works, what its job is inside of your head, and how to actually get it in the direction that you really desire it to go. So number one, I want to be really clear with all of you is that you're going to need to understand this, and you're going to be so excited to want to teach this to others. But I'm also going to tell you to really, really understand this for yourself, because it's got an opportunity to make a very, very big difference in what it is that you do. So inside this thing called your skull, like this thing, and if you want to tap it right now, you can, because it's here. You can massage it if you want. But inside this thing called your skull, inside is in this organ called your brain. Now, your brain is a physical organ. It's part of the body. It fluctuates. It allows your, heart to, it sends signals to your heart and your mind. It does all kinds of crazy stuff, thousands of things I don't even want to accept to understand. But in order, the thing that runs your brain, what makes your brain actually operate, is what I would call the operating system called your mind. So if you're watching this on a device right now, a Samsung, an Apple product, a Dell computer, a PC, whatever it is, that physical hardware that you have, like the actual device, is a lot like your brain. Your mind is the operating system that runs inside of it. So let's get very clear. So we're very clear. A lot of people go, God, man, I just can't get my brain to do what I want. Wrong. Your brain is always going to do what it's supposed to do. As long as it's operating correctly, you're giving appropriate nutrition to it. I'm going to tell you, your brain is going to make certain that you can function correctly as a human being, as long as your brain is taken care of and safe inside of your skull. It is your mind that offers you the ability to have massive amounts of free will, massive amounts of control, massive amounts of direction to make your life be what it is that you want it to be. So if you were to ask me, like, Michael, what is the function? Why is it that whatever you believe in created, and those your beliefs are yours, right? I'm going to give them to you. Why was the mind created? Well, the mind was created to allow your brain to do a very specific thing, to create advantages in your life, to make your life easier and better when you use it appropriately well. So I'm going to be very clear about this to make certain all of you understand this. It is psychology that you need to understand of how this works. So your brain is always looking for advantages because it wants you to be as alive as possible. It wants you to feel as good as possible. Your brain, it just wants to keep you alive. It wants to make sure you're pumping blood. It wants to make certain your heart is beating. It wants to make sure you see things, fight or flight, all that stuff set up inside of your brain. Nothing you need to do. Your brain's working, you'll be alive. But your mind is what allows you to be truly alive. And if you don't understand the difference, there's a mega difference between being alive and being truly alive. Alive is you get up in the morning, you're breathing, congratulations. Being alive is living the life that you truly want to, doing the things you really want to do. What you're watching right now, if this excites you, you can give it a heart or a like, is really about being alive and being alive in a way that you're doing the things you want. So your brain sends your mind in this position and it says, go look for advantages in life. there's this human being here that has these ultimate desires, these ultimate things that it wants. Help it get what makes it feel really, really good, make it live a long time, give it whatever it wants, go get it. So your brain is always sending your mind to go out there and look for advantages, things that like, what makes me happy, what looks good. And this is why you see that gorgeous yacht. This is why you see that beautiful person. This is why you see all that stuff. And your focus winds up seeing things that are amazing because your mind is saying, hey, see that thing over there? We should go get that. Hey, see that thing over there? We could be like that. You see that amazing relationship? You find yourself looking at someone kissing like they're totally making out over there. Like, oh, wow, maybe I shouldn't be looking. I want to be really, really certain right now. Your brain wants you to have a relationship like that too. So it sends its mind to notice it. So it brings it back to you and it tells you. The challenge for the majority of us is we misread the message. And the reason I say we misread the message is because what happens is in life, we say to ourselves like, gosh, that looks really good, but is that for someone like me? Can I do that? And this is where the confusion comes in because your mind will do everything you ask it to do if you've got the ability to be concise and be accurate with what you're asking it to do. So this is how I want to describe this next concept for you to really lay it on the line for each and every one of you, is that most of us are looking to figure out how to control our brain and to create focus for ourselves and to create things. And even though I call it mind control, I'm going to tell you it's probably one of the biggest misnomers in the world. It's a great way to describe something because you understand it, because we all want to control something. But at the end of the day, it isn't about controlling something. It's about directing it. So instead of thinking your brain is in here and your mind is inside of it, I'm going to ask you from this day forward to realize that your brain is in here and your mind is out here. It's moving in front of you. And our job to clear the appropriate path for what it is that our mind does and not get it directed in the wrong direction is really what we call focus in life. So when someone says, I want to get a lot of things done, your mind is ready to get a lot of things done with you. But whatever we put in the path in front of ourselves is the direction, the slope, whatever it is that our mind is going to go on. So if you put the banana peel, hypothetically speaking, like watching a cartoon in front of your mind, boom, it's going to trip up and you're going to miss what it is that you're doing. So your mind is always moving in front of you. So we've got to set this up in a way to get you to win. So the other day I was talking to Chip on our team. He's part of our video team for the last half a decade, which is super cool. We love having Chip on the team. And we were talking, he's like, what'd you do this morning? And I told him what I did when I first woke up. And the story of this is very, very important for you to understand. This has everything to do with social media, your mind, and the direction that you're taking in your life to get what it is that you want. So I said, when I first got up this morning, you wouldn't believe it. I got up and Maya looked over to me and she goes, do you want to watch some episodes of Dean the Basset Hound? And I remember thinking to Maya, like, oh, sounds good. We'll watch Dean the Basset Hound. So there's this influencer out there, this famous dog in Canada named Dean the Basset Hound. You can look him up or not, completely up to you, whatever you choose to do. But how we found this dog is fascinating in itself, because there was a time in my life that I had a dog named Willie. She was a Basset Hound. And I always joked around, I like hounds because they make you laugh. And one day I went online and I just typed in the word Basset Hound. Now, by typing that in, I set off the internet's algorithm. Now, I want you to understand what that word is for a minute, algorithm for a minute, because a lot of people think the algorithm is on the outside world, like with the Zuckerbergs. You're listening right now, Mark, you know what I'm talking about. Or with the people inside of Twitter, or the algorithm with Google. I'm telling you, folks, it's bigger than that. So I typed in the word Basset Hound. Now, what's interesting is when I typed in that word, a few months later, I got this pop-up on my YouTube. Hey, it's Dean the Basset Hound. Do you want to check it out? And I clicked it. And when I clicked it, it really tied me in. I would have never been watching that video that morning if a year earlier, half a year earlier, I would have not clicked on that. And what's amazing is how the mind works is whatever it is that you think about, it starts bringing you more of whatever it is that you want. So I want you to think about this no different than going online. You click on something. It's right in front of our eyes. People say like, hey, the internet's genius. Your mind was way genius way, way, way before the internet ever showed up. But no different is you click on something and you wonder, why does it keep on showing up? It shows up because in the internet terms, we pixeled it. In your brain, your mind said it's important. So we want to make certain to keep that idea in front of you. So my question for you is, What's in your algorithm inside of your life? See, most of us are looking to focus our brain and what is our algorithm. So in front of us, whatever it is that we say that we want, whatever it is we say that we do, whatever it is we click on, think about, act in, whatever it is, it's coming in front of you and you're going to get targeted at it. So you may be thinking right now, Michael, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. I understand what you're saying. I should be careful what I think about. It isn't that you need to be careful what you think about. We need to be selective of what it is we think about, because is it what we think about and is it what we put in front of our mind? It is leading us in the direction of what it is that we want to do. So I want to ask you this. Are we looking to control our mind, or are we more importantly looking to direct our mind to get ourselves to where it is that we want to go? So one of the techniques over the last year I recognized is, and I told everybody when it came to the news and the media, especially during last year, I said, give yourself 9 minutes a day. If it's important for you to catch up and see what's going on, have an intelligent conversation, give yourself 9 minutes and think, well, why 9 minutes? Well, it's not 10. It's better than 10 minutes. It's 9 minutes. If you can do 9 minutes or less, that's great. And what was amazing is when you gave yourself 9 minutes to do something, your brain was able to focus on something for a short period of time, was able to do it, and it didn't mess with the direction that you were going, doing what it is that you want. So I want you to understand this, and I'm going to take questions here in about 10, 15 minutes. But as we talk about how to access your mind and really create more focus, one of the greatest ways to go focus is to understand your brain is headed somewhere. What are the dominant things that we think about in our lives on a regular basis? So I can guarantee you that if we were to check your algorithm online, and this is a very, very fun little thing that you can do, is to ask yourself, not what do you like, not what do you want, not what is important to you, not what is moral. What are the things that you think about most often? Now, I'm just going to ask you that question for a minute. If I were literally to take a tape recorder, I think I said tape recorder, you can tell how old I am when I say that, right? But if you were to take a recorder of your brain and you were to take a look and you said to yourself, what did I think about most over the last week? You're going to have to very quickly get over your little, Boy Scout, Girl Scout thing. Like, I thought about my family and this and that. No. What did you think about most often? What were the most dominant thoughts inside of your head? And what's fascinating is this is where every single one of you is headed inside of your life right now, at the 3 things you think about most. So when you're done with this today, here's a very simple assignment. Grab a sheet of paper. If you want to make a check mark and mark off, thought about that, 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 thought about that. And what's interesting about it is, here's where the craziness comes in with Netflix and everything else going on. You've got things you think about, but check out what your screen time is. And maybe you need to look at what your screen time is and what it is you've been in front of. But I'm going to tell you, if you spend 2, 3, 4 hours watching shows, 2, 3 hours watching political videos, 2, 3 hours just in your inbox, you're thinking about your business predominantly. You're thinking about the challenges. You're thinking about what it is. Our job is to really figure out what are the 3 core focuses of what it is we're doing and starting to take those back. So if you want to set an appropriate path for what it is that you're doing, we need to make certain that we're setting these for ourselves on a regular basis. So here's the way I want you to look at it. Imagine you have 3 circles in front of you. And in the middle of them was your core focuses. So here's my question. What should your core focuses be? How do we override the focuses we have in our life? Because at the end of the day, if all your mind required was a direction, it required icing the slope to go down, lubricating where it is that you're going. What are the 3 directions that we're thinking about? So if David's watching romance movies, he says it right there. He's probably got romance things going. But my 3 focuses, what I'm going to tell you is not to stop doing anything. It's to increase the other area and ask yourself, how much time am I spending on the thing that matters most as something that seems that's important? In my book, Average Sucks, I talk about the concept of your average. If you haven't read Average Sucks yet, you can go to averagesucks.com, get the book. You should be reading. Everyone needs to read the book. I'm not going to promote that right now, but definitely get the book. Average Sucks, get the book, read it, get a bunch of copies, give them to people you care about. Because at the end of the day, the 3 things that you think about are going to be the most dominant ones in your life. So you might say to yourself, well, Michael, I think about my family all the time. I get it. You do think about your family all your time. But how do you think about your family all the time? Are you worried they're doing okay? Are you worried they're doing a good job? Do you miss them? Are you not around them? Are you worried about making the relationship better? Are you focused on relationships and making relationships better? Or is our focus on what's wrong with my current relationship? Are we focused on the challenges inside of our business? Or are we focused on growing our business? This is not about, positive thinking. This is about literally your mind is saying, tell me what to do and I'll do it. So there's two things going on. One is your three focuses. Number two is your algorithm, the algorithm that you have. So I watch this all the time. I said I would talk to you about being less bothered by people. And then I'm going to very much so love to ask questions on this. If you're thinking about controlling your mind, directing your mind, I'd love to answer questions. In about 5 minutes from now, I want to answer some pretty powerful questions for each and every one of you. And I also want to hear your favorite part that I've shared so far, what's making a difference for you. And then if you just joined us, like this, share it on the wall. Our Team Burnoff's going to drop down below a link, cut and paste, put it on your wall. Let people know, here's what I'm watching right now. You should watch it too, because you got to direct people's focus if you want to do something. So I've realized that a lot of people get bothered by other people, whether it's something somebody says, how somebody lives, how somebody makes you feel. And the interesting thing about being bothered by them is we spend periods of time being bothered. Now, the way the mind works, the more intense the feeling is, the more involved we are with the feeling, the more we think about this thing that bothers us, the more your brain makes it real and it creates it as a reality in your life. And it creates the movie for what's going on. And I recognize that one of the biggest reasons we get frustrated by other people, the biggest reasons we get frustrated by people in our lives is we have a series of rules that are inside of our mind that we have. And what's fascinating is we assume that other people have identical rules to the rules that we have. Now, I've recognized as number one, you have to recognize that they were not there the day that you set the rules party down of how the rules would go. But Michael, they should just know that these are the rules, that the rules should world for be. I'm going to tell you, I would like it to be that way. I wish it was that way, but it's not that way. So whenever we look at somebody, we've got to recognize that this human being has a different set of rules of where they're going. I'm also going to tell you that the person you're dealing with has a direction that their mind is going based on the things that they're doing. So in sales, you've got to remember that people have a mind headed in a direction based on what's going on. Someone walks in and goes, I'm not buying anything. I'm not interested in buying anything. I'm good with what I have. I'll go to the meeting. And these are the three focuses they have. So our job is we've got to get those things out of there and change the actual focus for what's going on. So when someone's bothered by another person, number one is you're operating with a person. This is a series of rules right now by a different set of rules than the set of rules you have. Number two, you do not realize that you are making one of those things your central focus. So here's the thing. Are we concerned about what was said? Are we concerned about how it felt or what it is that we saw? Now, I'm going to ask all of you to think about that concept for a second. The second you cut this up, now this is crazy. Inside of your mind, I teach this during my HIT program. This is massively important that every one of you need to get, is that what happens is inside of your mind is like a video camera, an IMAX screen of everything going on, picture, sounds, and feelings of everything that occurred. This is something I wrote in my notebook that I wanted to share with you guys that is massively powerful that all of you need to get. So when somebody bothers you, the first thing you need to say is it something they said? Is it something that they did? Is it some way that I feel? Is it something that I saw? Now, what's interesting is we typically think it's the whole of the person. And we say, it was all of them. They just bother me. My cousin Bruce just bothers. I don't have a cousin Bruce, but my cousin Bruce just drives me nuts. I'm going to ask you, was it something he said? Yes, he said this. What's interesting is it isn't your cousin Bruce. It's what you heard. The second you make it only something you heard, not something you saw, not something you felt, you take 66% of the emotion out of it. I want to be very clear what I'm telling you. They still said it. They still did it. It still sucks. But here's the deal. In your brain, when you're replaying it to yourself and you're solving the problem, I'm bothered by what they said. Or are you bothered by them? If you're bothered by them, you're bothered by their entire freaking life. If you're bothered by what they said, It was an incident for a period of time. I'm bothered by what they did, period of time. I'm bothered about how I feel. We've only felt that way for 19 minutes. What's fascinating is our brains, this is send our minds going, look, I don't want to die. I don't want to have a problem. So find anything negative, find anything we need to avoid and eliminate it, stop it. But first, memorize it, DVR it, keep it, so we've got it for the rest of our lives. So we are not negative people by nature. So when you drive by a car accident, you're not negative by looking at it. Your brain is like, dude, memorize that car accident right now. Every bit of what just happened, memorize that thing. Here's why. If you memorize the whole car accident, you can make certain you don't have that happen to you ever again. So what your mind is saying is, we don't like this feeling. We don't like how they made us feel. We are bothered by what they did. So what do? We avoid them. How do we avoid them? Remember how it felt. Remember what we heard, remember what we saw, and avoid it. The problem is that's not actually what happened. That is your mind and your brain not getting along with each other at that moment, because guess what? Your physical computer works great. The iOS is jacked. There's nothing wrong with the keyboard. It works great, the hardware. The iOS and the keyboard, they're just not working together. The Bluetooth of the mouse, it's just not connecting. So we've got to disconnect this. So if you always remember pictures, sounds, and feelings, anything that bothers you, what happens is we've got to split these things up. So if you're liking this, give me a like, give me a love, say, got it. I'm going to do that. Makes sense. I'll answer questions in a minute. Let's flip that on its head. Now, the reverse of this, the powerful way, the things we want in life, the things you want to do, most of us are only using a piece of getting there. So let's go back to those three core focuses. The three things we're looking for, the three things we want, the three things we should think about: our health, our relationships, our money, your business, your future, your family, your intimacy, whatever it is that you're after, that you're attracted for, your future. So I think a lot of us, we use this word goals and wants. I like the word future, because future's every freaking thing other than now where we're headed. I love it. So if you're like, I got the now, but the future is like, it's future. And right now it's 1:29 in 30 seconds. It's the future. So here's the very fascinating part. This is the part that I want you to get is, if we got those three focuses we have, each of those can get stepped up in a massive way by reverse engineering. See, remember, the negative is about seeing, hearing, feeling. When you split it to one, you get a 66% advantage to not feel it as much, to not experience it much. Flip it the other direction. If you want to experience it more, we need to add more to it. So here's the question. How involved are you with these things each day? If you want to control your mind to become a healthy person, what are we doing to do that? What are we reading on health? What are we listening to on health? What are we watching on health? It'd be smart to do all three of those things. What kind of conversations are we having? And how are we upping our algorithm in that area? See, influencing your mind is really about setting the direction for what it is that you're doing. I cover this all the time with people. And I think the majority of people, they don't take a minute to understand that it's very, very simple things that make all of the difference. And one of the simple ones is, how could you see it, hear it, experience it in a way that serves you best? And this is the best question we can ask ourselves. And you might want to ask yourself this question: is the way I'm doing this the best way to serve me? So think about that for a second. Is this thing I'm doing the best way to serve my future? I want you to think about that, because it's all about the algorithm. And if you want the algorithm to stop, we got to stop clicking on Basset-Hound videos. Because if you stop clicking on Basset-Hound videos, you stop getting Dean the Basset-Hound. Now think about this. I'm making a joke right now, but I'm not making a joke right now. Because every one of you, the more intensity you have with these things you watch, look, think, the more often they show up in your life. So we need to make certain to be putting these in a way that serves us for what it is we want. So I figured I'd open this up for you guys. I know a lot of you already. Some of you I've never met before. And if you are, welcome. I'm thrilled you're here. There's a chat box down below. If you're liking what I'm sharing, give it a like, give it a love. Also, our team's going to post it one more time. Grab this, share it on your wall. And the reason I want more people to watch this and understand, and also be cautious what you get involved in. So the next time, here's a really great anchor for you. The next time you pick up your phone, the next time you look at your computer, I want you to realize everything is being recorded. And then I want you to realize the computer is weak compared to your mind. Everything you do is being recorded. Not to be scared about that, but it's being recorded. Not so it can hold something against you. It's being recorded so it can direct you to where it is that it thinks you want to go. So every action you take, every time you do something, your brain is saying they've done this for a period of time. They must want to do this again. Let's get them back here again as quickly as we can in a way that serves, in a way that helps them. So I'd love to open up for some questions on anything to do with the mind. I definitely know if you've never worked with us yet, I'd love to work with you guys. I'm giving away a challenge if you want. You can feel free to, it's right there on the thing, averagesucks.com/challenge. Share that as well. I know there's a period of time our team is reworking everything we're doing. We are not going to be giving that away forever, but it's a $600 program. I'd love you to take it, challenge yourself, break your average, change habits, rewire your mind. averagesucks.com/challenge, 100% free. Over the phone, work with me from anywhere in the world with a small group of people. I got one coming up in 3 weeks. I'd love to work with you, your friends, your family, anything. So grab that link, share that with people you care about. Open up a text box, send it to 5-10 people, send it to your clients, tell their friends to join us. I'd love to work with them as well. Super, super powerful program. So let's go back to the comments right now. See if we have some questions. So our team's going to ask right now, and I'm going to ask right now. I'm going to speak for a little bit because it takes a minute for them to pop in the screen. If you didn't click the button to let me know who you are, I may not know your name, but think about any question you have, anything about your mind, somebody else's mind, how to get your mind working better. I'd love all of you to ask a question. If you have one, feel free to ask. I mean, whatever it is, bring it up. Someone says mind blown. I'm glad you love Mind Control 2.0. If you haven't taken Mind Control 2.0, our team put up a special on it. It's $100 right now. It's normally $600. We could drop a link for that as well. If you've never done it, it is the biggest no-brainer in the world. I'll answer your question. What books are you reading currently, Michael? That's a good question. I'll tell you exactly what I'm reading right now, David. I can't wait. So mindcontrol20.com. Somebody put it in the box. You definitely want to register if you don't have that already. David, I'm reading a book right now. Very interesting book. It is a lot to do with the mind. And it is, I think it's called Thick Face, Black Heart. And I got to recommend it for my buddy of mine. It is about how different cultures are able to use their mind. This is interesting, to get what it is that they want. And the book, which is fascinating, again, Thick Face, Black Heart. I'm going to tell you why this is so powerful. The book, I'm loving it. It's all about how to not be bothered by what other people think. It's really fascinating. And to care what people think because you're being your best. I mean, you being your best, I'm being my best because I care what you think, but I'm not caring what you think. It's fascinating. And how to actually dominate and get what you want in this world without destroying shit around you. So that's what I'm reading right now. And but one of the last books I've had where I'm really highlighting, and it's amazing. So I got a question from Vaughn. I have a neighbor who has a girlfriend that screams at him, and he's leaving for work every morning, accusing him of sleeping, blah, blah, not every morning, but twice a week. It's getting annoying. So here's the deal. You don't have a neighbor that's bothering you. The screaming's bothering you, Vaughn. So what you need to do is you need to work on the screaming and hearing it and not hearing it. You need to stop being bothered by the neighbor, and you've got to realize that you've got to deal with the screaming, the sounds inside of your head. So if you went to a doctor and said, I got a problem with the neighbor, and the doctor was Tony Soprano, he'd clip your neighbor and kill it. The problem isn't your neighbor. The problem is you need a damn set of earplugs to not be bothered, hypothetically speaking. Yes, David, buy that book. You'll be thank me for it. It's powerful. I was going to talk to another group about that as well. So this is very important. I want everyone to take Vaughn's example. Vaughn posed the problem here in a very powerful way. He said, I got a problem with my neighbor. He doesn't have a problem with his neighbor. He's got a problem with his neighbor says. Got it? Pay attention. Great seeing you too, TJ. So I got a question here from Jennifer. How do I change to a positive focus if there's a serious health issue to handle? Because the focus tends to be a worry or stress. So here's the deal. If the algorithm is, and you're looking online, how do I know I'm sick? What if I die? What if I get sick? What if they die? You're going to have a slip on the course towards that. If health supersedes that, if positive thinking supersedes that, if Being around positive people is better. Click on things. It's no different than watching a video, videos like this. So whenever you click on what is this rash, it takes you to a hellhole and not a solution. How do I cure poison ivy is different than clicking on how do I know I have poison ivy and is poison ivy contagious? Let's be very clear. How do I cure poison ivy? I know we're not talking poison ivy. We're talking about a challenge, Jennifer. I get it. There's all respect for what's going on. This is very, very understandable that everyone's getting at. Number two, when we click on how do I get yourself to cure it is different than that. So it's gonna be really, really clear about that. So, and Team Burnoff, I want you to send that individually to them, the link. That'll be great. And instead of posting it there, thank you. You can delete that post. So, so the one thing I want to tell you is it's what we click on is what it is that we get. And this is a very, very important part of the puzzle. So are we clicking on what's wrong with me, or are we clicking on how do I get better? Based on that, you're going to get things like that that are going to lead you in a direction. TJ says, Dave, nope, not ATA, but in martial arts. Okay, very good. Not that. Okay. What was the title of the book? The book that I said is Thick Face, Black Heart. Good book. Totally recommend it. If it's your thing. I'm reading it. I like it. I bought a hardback of it. I'm enjoying it. Anybody else have a question on the mind or anything else you want to know? And definitely take a minute and sign up for the challenge. Highly recommend it. AverageSucks.com/challenge. Make certain to do it. If you don't have Mind Control 2.0, definitely go to mindcontrol20.com. It's $99 for a $600 program. Do it. You'll thank me. It's incredible. Anybody else have a question? Anything else pop up? I got a couple more minutes. I'd love to ask. Yes, it is a great book, David. You are correct. Who else? You guys enjoying this right now? If you are, give it a like. Stop smoking. Kamala, here's the problem with smoking. I'm going to give you really, really clear. You've heard me share this before. I'll get back, Laura, to yours in a minute. Okay. So here's the deal with smoking. Quitting smoking is hard. When you believe quitting smoking is hard. Everyone should believe quitting smoking is hard if you haven't started. But if you believe quitting smoking is hard and you already started, it is a shitty belief to have. The better belief to have is, I haven't done it yet. It'll be easy once it's done. Can't be that complicated. I'll figure it out. People have done it before. It is great to believe it's hard to quit if you have not started. If you've already started, you will never quit if you believe it's hard to quit. Think about that concept. It may be hard to quit, but it's not good something to think about. You're better off thinking, yep, I have not figured it out yet. I'm going to figure it out. I've got to get at it. Very good. Please clarify why or how the mind knows what to do when the things you think about. For example, to avoid getting into a car accident, you become familiar with the negative aspects of a car accident. So here's what happens. Your brain doesn't want you to die. So it sends your mind, the soldier out in the world, goes, find all things that could kill us. Anything that seems scary sends hormones and chemicals to the body that makes us nervous. Avoid them. You see a car accident, you go, whoa, and you jump back. Your brain goes, quick, get everything, videotape it, get the whole thing, capture it all. Oh gosh, capture it all. And it captures all of it. And the more it captures it, here's the catch-22, both sides of the same coin. It captures all of it. And you know what happens when it captures all of it? Let me help you real quick. It makes you remember it over and over again, and then eventually you get fear of driving your car. And if you get enough fear of driving your car, you drive like shit and you get into an accident. Be very careful. Understand? Got it. My mind's looking over there to avoid it for the future. Boom. It was great. How to direct adult kids' brains for their beliefs, scarcity, money, scarcity of time. Let's get into this. There's no such thing as scarcity of money and time. They've got pictures in their head. They say regularly, I don't have time. They picture things they want to do that they can't do. They talk to friends about what can't happen. Stop one of those and it creates a very big difference. So you might say to somebody, when someone says, I don't have the time, you might want to say, do you say that to yourself often? I do. Do you picture things you wish you had time to do? I do. Great. Do you know how much time you're spending talking about it and thinking about it? It's a waste of time. They would think, never thought of that before. It's changing the focus. What's fascinating is they're clicking on things. I don't have time. Tell myself I don't have time. And they're pumping up the algorithm so the brain gets it more. So the path it's going down, the slalom that it's going down, woo, look at the slalom that it's going down. It's going like this. It's going in the direction of what it is we're thinking about. Powerful. You guys liking this? Give it a like, give it a love, get a comment. We need more hearts on this, folks. There's some great stuff here. Give me a heart, give it a like, give it a love, comment away. Let's take a couple more. I have 4 more minutes. If you're enjoying this, hashtag average sucks. If you're enjoying this, definitely take advantage of the challenge. If you have not done it yet, take the challenge. I'm also going to tell you, get at least one teammate to do it. Husbands and wives, I'd love to work with you. It's my gift to you. And definitely take advantage of the VIP package as well, the book and the shirt. Big no-brainer. Anybody else? I'm thinking about me smiling. Very good. All right, David, I love it. 3 minutes left. Anybody else have a question? Ask away. If you love it, give me an average sucks. Let's see if we can get 20, 30 of these in a row. Who else has a question, comment, idea, concern? And then I'm going to ask you one more time. What's up, Jared? I'm going to ask you to go to your wall, cut and paste this video. Before you're done, I want you to share it. And the reason I want you to share it is people need to hear this, because this is what I'm going to tell you at the end of the day. This is a very, very important thing. And people keep on asking about the book. I've gotten a lot of podcasts recently. People, averagesucks.com, you get a copy of our book, and we're giving away hundreds of dollars of audios. If you go there right now, you get a bunch of copies of the book. If you'd like, give them away to your friends and family and teammates and stuff. Here is an interesting thing to think about. I share this. I can't say it enough. You got to prep your mind before you go to bed. And the one thing I'm going to tell you is, and I play this game, I'm selective what I watch and what I listen to. I also know what I'm getting myself involved in. Is whatever you listen to or do before bed lives in your brain for a period of time. My recommendation for all of you is you got to read. I'm working on my audiobook for Average Sucks tomorrow, which I'm excited about. We're going to be knocking that out soon. It's going to be really cool with some extra content and different types of things. And if you guys are excited about that, we're going to get that out. And then I realized that every one of us has to read about at least 10 or 15 pages a day, because in order to control your mind, words are very powerful. Hearing them from others is never powerful as you reading them and putting them in your brain yourself. So I want to be super uber clear about what I'm about to tell you right now, is that inside of your mind, when you physically get a book and you read the words, okay, I should put ding, ding, dings in there. You're right, Dave. When you read the words, your brain sees it, it hears it, and it feels it. But when you listen to an audiobook, which is great, that's why it's always better to listen to an audiobook in the bathtub, because you got sensation going on, you got the hot water and everything else. The more kinesthetic it is, the more powerful it is. So I'm going to tell you 10 to 15 pages a day at a minimum, improve your mind. Every one of us should do it. Find a way to move your body, find a way to read 10, 15 pages a day. But here's your assignment for all of you. I want you to set an appropriate path for your brain, for your mind, and make it in a very, very effective way. Think of the 3 core focuses that you're going to go after, that you're going to head it after. Think of what they're going to be. And then I'm going to ask you to each day look at that and go, these are my 3 core focuses of the things that I'm going to work on. Did I spend time setting my mind up to see these down the road? It's the long game. It's like SEO, setting up backlinks and stuff. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, it's good, Richard, that you do that. I love that, is you want to set your brain headed in a very simple direction and tell it it's going to be okay, so your mind can go to work and get what you want. Set 3 core focuses so you can rest assured. You ever wanted to calm down your mind? That's how to do it. Pick the 3 that you're going to focus on. Pick the 3 that they are, so you can let your mind go free, do what it needs to do, and direct it where it needs to go. It's completely up to you to do, but you've got to take a couple seconds and decide where you want it to go. So appreciate all of you. Give me a hashtag average sucks. I would love it if you give at least 1 heart, at least 1 like, and grab the link from our team of this. Grab the link, cut and paste, put it on your wall, share it. Let's see how many lives we can share this incredible work with. Let's see how many lives we can transform. Let's see how many people we can help. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't taken advantage, again, of our challenge, Average Sucks Challenge, averagesucks.com/challenge, my gift to you guys, go ahead and share that. Find, like literally this weekend, find a few people it's appropriate for. Not that I need people to take the class. It's wakes up human beings. It gets them closer to where they want to go. I appreciate all of you. I am 1 minute over when I said I was going to be done. So I'm going to say, I love all of you. I appreciate you. Like this, share it, And more importantly, go use it to make a difference in your life. We'll go talk about this inside the Average Sucks community right now. Let's go have a conversation about it. And if you're not a member of the community, right there, michaelbernoff.com/community, come join us inside. I'd love to connect with you guys. Come in there and we're going to start a conversation about this. Post in there your favorite stuff. After you post it down below, let's meet in there and talk about it as well. So appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Go do big things. Have an incredible weekend. And whenever you're watching this, give it a like, give it a love, give it a comment, and I will catch all of you soon. Take care, everyone. Talk to y'all later.